So previously my experience was we wanted to sell a unit, we have buyers, but we couldn't find the unit we like. I think I was pretty humbled by the experience, thinking that I knew a lot, but after which, I realized that there were other, blind side that I didn't consider. But interestingly, you and your team decided to stop me from pursuing my interests towards that and say, don't be in a rush, let's take a few more viewings first, and so that's when the journey continues.
Hello everyone, my name is Jared, and I had the privilege to actually have Jason on board one of the clients that I serve.
My name is Jason. I'm 44 this year, and I work as a HR professional. I've also dabbled a bit in properties here and there, stayed in the east side.
So through the portfolio review, we analysed and understood Jason's objectives, and we're happy to see Jason successfully actually execute this property journey to where we are today. So Jason, how was your overall experience like working with me and my team?
So it was more of a, let's see what comes out, and since there was a unit that was interesting, when we visited. So I was actually, actually it's quite nice, and it could potentially fit what I'm looking at. No strong push reason, but if I could find a better one, why not, right? Because to me, I also see property as a way of investing, own stay while trying to appreciate in capital appreciation. But interestingly, you and your team decided to stop me from pursuing my interests towards that and say, don't be in a rush, let's take a few more viewings first, and so that's when the journey continues.
How was the experience like when we were analysing some of this property, whether is it property A, property B, or property C? Do you feel like it was an analytical approach that guided you to make a decision ultimately what you chose?
I think I was pretty humbled by the experience, thinking that I knew a lot, but after which, I realized that there were other, blind side that I didn't consider. Like for example, it's really not so much of the entry, that we're making, but more of the exit. Properties nowadays are getting smaller and smaller. So it's always hard to strike a balance between something that's newer and yet, have the size that we need and yet fits the budget. So I think through the analysis, it really helped us to see where we are and also the potential gain that we could get as well while staying in it. So it's making the money work for you at the end of the day.
When we were shortlisting the potential units, ultimately what were the challenges that you faced, and how did I was able to help you with it?
So previously my experience was we wanted to sell a unit, we have buyers, but we couldn't find the unit we like. So it's always a chicken and egg thing, and so I remember that time I was saying, oh yeah, I like this unit, but so what? I haven't even posted my unit up for sale, and this unit at such a pricing is going to be grabbed very soon. And I think on the same day, if I recall correctly, you arranged for the videographer to come down. After that, within 24 hours, the video was posted up. Then you and your team arranged for viewing. There were offers that came in, and that's when I was like, oh wow, did I just make and sell? So I think it was less than a week, in fact. So we sell and bought the property within a week.
Okay, so a serious question. So I like how you mentioned about the chicken and egg thing. So today, if you really had a close friend, hey Jason, I also thinking of upgrading, I'm inspired by your journey, but I haven't seen anything I like. How would you share to this very close friend of yours?
I think it's always back to numbers at the end of the day. I think one learning point for me was, especially for own stay, right? Unlike investment strategy, it's always important to make sure that you can always afford to have that roof, over your head. Rather than over leveraging yourself or over investing as well. We also made some bad decisions along the way, to be really honest. But end of the day, I think what we gained from there, other than the learning itself, was also the dollar and cents that helped to support the family to a certain extent as well. So I think that's a good way to continue.
One very deep, honest question is that if you could do anything different in terms of your property journey, is there anything you would have done differently?
I think one thing is to really learn from experts like yourself, because I realized that I think there's a lot of background research to be done, which normally laymen like us might not be able to gain access to or might not even understand.
So after working with me in a very successful property journey, what kind of people would you think would work well with me, or what kind of people would you recommend to introduce Jared to this group of people?
Who I think will make the most value is people who agree with the fact that property can be also one of their investment strategy. I think that would be something that they can potentially understand more from you on how to make it work for them. So for those people who wants to know more about market, especially a certain region, allow Jared and his team to share their thought process with you and also what's out there in the market. I think that would really bring great value and help you to make a more informed decision. I think the key word is making an informed decision rather than just going in blindly based on entry price.